Hi, Janardhan. Good evening. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining the call. Could you please share your screen?
yeah. Good
And
evening, Ravji.
good evening. Open PPT and walk me through. Over to you, Janardhan.
Yeah, thank you, Ravli. Now I will explain about the attribute dimensions. So in the next slide, in this topic, we will be able to show the usage of the attribute dimension in the following aspects: the data form and RTP, business rules, and smart. So in the next slide, what is an attribute in journal? So can you give me an example of the an attribute in the Amazon? So basically, attributes are a special type of the dimensions in our to the characterization of the data for the color and the price of the product. So in the Amazon app, for the example of the in Amazon app, we have the multiple products. Have the choice to filter the product. In that filter, we have the price and product size, colors. Like we can select the with the filters. Those options will create the with the attributes. So can you explain the difference between the standard dimensions and the attribute dimensions? The standard dimension is nothing but the business dimension, which is in our application. When we are creating the application based on these dimensions will be created. The standard dimension will be comes with the 11 predefined dimensions and two custom dimensions in our FCCS application. So in the attribute dimensions, you can create the dimensions and members for the attributes. So in which case do you prefer the attribute dimension over the standard dimensions? Like we said in the earlier, so we have the dimensions, attribute dimensions for the product, like we can give the color and price, size of the product. So based on that, we can choose the attribute dimension in this case. So can we assign the attribute dimension to dense or sparse dimension? So we can create the attribute dimensions and for the only sparse dimension, we cannot create the or assign the dimension in the dense dimension. So because of we have the only account dimension in the dense dimension, we don't have the option for the attribute dimension. We cannot create the dense in the dense dimension. So, and can you show me how to create the attribute dimension? So, after that, can you show me how to assign attribute dimension to standard dimension? So, likewise, we can create and I will show the through the navigation in the application. So, in here we have the dimensions under create and manage. So, under create and manage, you have to select the entity dimension. In here, you can select the entity member and entity dimension, then click on the XYZ to create the new member. So we can create here. So now I'm going to give the name region 1. So then click on save. So then select the region 1 and click on the here and you can choose the names here what they preferred, and first name is the APC Asia Pacific. So here I am giving that name. So give that name here. Then click on save. So select the region and click on here and give the another name 01. Then click on save. Again select here and click on here and give the USA one. So then click on again and give the name Middle East MEA. Likewise, you can give the names here. So in the in this attribute, I have created one parent and another four members for the attribute dimension. So likewise, you can create. So in this slide, you can see all the requirements. Can you assign the attribute dimensions and the dense parts, and cannot create the dense dimension, and can you show me how to create the attribute dimensions? So earlier I have shown in the application how to create the attribute dimension, and can you show me how to assign attribute dimension to standard dimension? So in here I can I shown here. So how to create the add the dimensions, standard dimension to attribute dimension. So before that I have to close here and select the any one of the entity which you want. Under the segments I am selecting the EN02. I am expanding this one and select the member. Then click on the edit option. In the attribute values we have the region. So here you can add here and click on save. Likewise you can save here. So this is the process for the attribute add to the attribute dimension to standard dimension member. It will saving. So then select the EN02, expand the region and click on the Europe. Then click on save. Then again select the EN02. Then click on the attribute values and select the USA and click on save. Last one, expand the region and select MEA and click on save. So likewise we can give the assign the attribute dimension to standard dimension. So on the next slide, usage of the attribute dimension in the data form. So can you show me how to use the attribute dimension in the data form in the page drop down and show me how the standard dimension members are filtered? So then I am going to the application and selecting the home page and go to the form and the create and manage. We have the forms card. So then we can select the paste application which is earlier created and click on the layout. In here you can see the which is we have the created the attribute dimension. So first I'm going to give the in the page, select and drop down here and you can select the edit and give the region one is the ID sentence. So then click on OK, then go to the preview. So likewise you can give the PO and the POV, then you can select the region one. Here you have the option to select the all the entity region members. So likewise you can select them. So coming to the slide. So in here we have created the this scenario. Based on this scenario I have created the region and members. So then after we have to, can you move the attribute dimension to the POV and explain the outcome of it? So I will explain the in the POV how to it will shows like if we have given in the POV, then click drop down in the POV and select the, if you want to select you can select there, you can click on the preview. So likewise you can see here only region 1. So we cannot change here in the POV. So there is no option for the POV in how to select here. So this is the difference between the page and region. Then we have to give in the rows as seen in the PPT. So can you move the attribute dimension to the rows and explain the outcome of it? And then after we have to move to the columns. So now I will show the both differences. In here first I am going to give the region 1 in the rows, then I am selecting the POV. Here the function is the ID index, then click on OK, then go to the preview. So in here you can see the all the regions we have the members, the attribute dimension members like will you can see. So then after I am moving here it is the to the columns. So in here we can give the preview. So likewise we can see the all the region 1 is the like their members will be shown here. So likewise you can give. So So now I'm selecting the finish. So then I'm going to the next slide. As per this slide, I have shown all the activities. So after that, we have the usage of the attribute dimension in the RTP. So can you assign the attribute dimension or attribute dimension member in the RTP? Yes, so can assign the attribute dimension members in the RTP. So if yes, can you show me how to assign the attribute dimension or attribute dimension members in the RTP? So can you show me only few attribute dimension limited in the RTP? So I will show in the navigation. So first we need to go to the, so now I'm going to the home page. Under the navigator, we have the rules card. So I'm selecting the rules card. Here you can expand the application and select the console. Click on the actions, then click on the variable designer. Under the variable designer, we have the application and select the application and click on the console. Then you can click on the new. So in here, I'm going to give the name like this. So then select the member. I'm selecting the member. So then after you can select the region here. So here you can, if you want to limit the members here, you can select the RTP. So like this in the slide, you can you show me the how to assign the attribute dimension or attribute dimension members in the RTP? Can you show me only a few attribute dimensions limited in the RTP? So the only limited dimensions here, APAC and Europe. So like I will give the restrictions for that. So then if you want to enable the RTP, you have to check box here and then I'm selecting the member. So expand the and select the limit. I'm giving the both APAC and Europe here and then click on OK. Then I'm going to the give the member and I'm selecting the region. So likewise you can give the all the values here. So if you want to change here, if you want to select any other member, you can select here. So now I'm selecting the region, then click on save. Runtime prompt variables. So I need to give the runtime variables. So the text type is the, I have given the RTP text value and I'm expanding the USA and then click on OK. So after that I giving the all the details. I am going to select it and the variable has saved successfully. So likewise you can create the variables. So as seen in the slide, I have given the all the navigation here. So then I am going to the next slide. So in this slide, we have the usage of the attribute dimension in the business rule. So can you show me how many functions are available in the user attributes in the business rule? So now I am showing how many functions are available in our business rule. So now I am expanding the console and click on the rules card and click on the rules card and you can create the new object. So give the name here and I'm giving the name custom rule 2 and click on OK. So the rule was created and now I'm going to give the attribute values. So then I'm going to back to give the name. Here you can give the syntax like fix. So here I can give the value like this and click on the enter and end fix. So we have the functions here. So like we have the alias and alias descendants and allocate center and attribute. So like this we have the so many functions here as the suggested in the slide this slide. So So after that, can you show me the least two functions of the attributes in the business rule expectations? So the expectations is the choose randomly any attribute dimension member and choose any random combination of the standard dimension and create an input sheet in the smart view and use of the random members as input and create an output sheet in the smart view and create business rule with the attribute functions and execute the business rule. Show me the result in the output sheet created. So like I will show the through the navigation. So we have the functions, so many functions here. So you can see here, and then I'm going to give the fixed value. So first you need to give the fixed value is that select the function, and here I am selecting the attribute, and then I am selecting the member. So in here you can select the region, and you can expand the region, and you can select the any one of them, and I am choosing the Asia Pacific and click on OK. Then click on OK. So likewise you can select, and I am giving the end fix, and I am going to give the another. So in here we have the category. So in the category we have the functions. So now I'm going to Boolean. In Boolean we have the is attributes. So now I'm selecting the is attribute as per the PPT. So then I'm expanding. You can select the. So in here we have the MEA and you can choose any one of them. Now I'm selecting the region. Click on OK. So likewise you can give the values here. So fix. Go to the function. Select the Boolean, and I am selecting the easy attribute, and I'm going to select the region, and I'm going to select the region, and then click on OK. So enter the end fix and click on save and validate. So in the PPT I have given the all the rules. Then I'm going to the next slide. So in this next slide, usage of the attribute dimension in the smart view. So now I'm going to back to the like this. So we have to give the values here, and I'm giving the and fix and fix value region. So I'm changing the function here. So if you want to give the any one of them, I am giving the boolean, and the easy attribute is that I'm changing to the number for the. So here I'm going to choose the region and expanding the region. Here I'm choosing the USA and click on OK. So likewise you can give the values. So in the next slide, can you show me how to insert of any attribute in the smart view? So can you show me a report with the attribute dimension? So before that, I'm going to here, and the custom attribute rule is the. Now I'm expanding this console and rules. So the rule was selected successfully and apply this one. After deploying the objectives, it will run successfully. So now I'm closing this and I'm going to the business rule, the application. Under the dashboards, we have the custom rule one. So likewise, we can create the attributes in the data rule, business rules. So after that, I'm going to the smart view. In the smart view, I will show from this first. So first of all, I have to open the form and click on the smart view and click on the panel. Then going to the select the share connections and we have to give the name here as the credentials. Then click on go. So expand the EPM application. So we have the forms here and the library. Before that, I'm going to uncheck the suppress missing blocks. So now I'm selecting the ad hoc analysis. So in here you can give the values here. So likewise you can insert the row and give the value. So earlier I have created it as India. Then you can enter and click on refresh. So likewise you can create the attribute values for these entities and the entity is the India and the region is the India. So likewise we can create. So on the next slide, we have in this topic we have concluded show us the uses of the attribute dimension in the following artifacts. So the data forms and runtime from business rules and smart. So thank you. That's it from my side, Ravi.
Thank you, Janardhan.